Well, Iowa Republicans will put on extra layers and batter the cold for the all-important presidential caucuses today. This will be the coldest caucus day since the state started leading the presidential selection process in 1976. Out there braving the temps, not yet. He's staying in one of the fanciest hotels in Greater Des Moines, actually about an hour outside. Friend of the stream, former head of the Illinois GOP, Pat Brady, from a hotel lobby. Pat, how are you doing out there?
I'm cold, Brad. It took me 4.5 hours to get over here, and I stopped at the world's largest truck stop, and it was cold.
I mean,
it's exciting. It's participating in this is a lot of fun, and I feel good about what might happen tonight.
It is fascinating. So those that don't get it, give me a 40-second synopsis of like how caucusing works. I get it, like everyone starts out like I want A, I want B, I want C, and then you kind of argue together and then coalesce behind A. I mean, kind of give me how it goes.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Each of the candidates have someone speak on their behalf, and then they take a vote on who they support. So it's pretty much how it is.
You have now officially thrown your support behind, and this is not atypical of you. You have not been favorable of Trump for, well, I think the entire time that he, since he announced. But you have now officially thrown your support as former head of the Illinois GOP behind former UN ambassador, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, correct?
Yeah, I support her. Right? Listen, I don't want to use that title doing it just because there are a lot of Republicans in Illinois that aren't really thrilled with me. But I do believe that she's the I want to win. Mm-hmm. We've had a tough run in Illinois the last 10 or 12 years, beyond Rauner, I guess. And Nikki Haley's the one that can beat Joe Biden. She beats him by 17 in the most recent polling. And that means that'll help Illinois a great deal. That'll help us win some state house races and things like that. So I think she's the best candidate. She's a new generation. And she looks forward, not backward. And listen, I just think that she'd be great for the Republican Party, and she'd be great for the Republican Party in Illinois to kind of just a new generation. I'm kind of sick of 80% of the voters don't want either of these guys, Trump or Biden. And Nikki Haley represents something new and something I'm really looking forward to trying to support.
It's interesting. Both when both Republicans, Trump and Haley, are put versus Biden, Trump wins, but by a smaller margin than Nikki Haley. That's got to surprise you?
No, because she has a broader appeal. Trump's appeal is very limited to his hardcore base, and Nikki Haley is more of a traditional Republican. She's a genius on foreign policy. She's a fiscal conservative. She's a social conservative. The kind of candidates that can actually win as Republicans, and that's what she represents. And beyond that, Trump's the chaos candidate. We've had 8 years of this all about Trump, and it's time to look forward and deal with the issues that are affecting everyday Americans and families, and not constantly, every day, hearing the latest Trump story. And I just think that she'll be much better for the Republican Party and much, much better for the country than either of the two top-tier candidates right now for either party.
Yeah, it is completely, chaos candidate. That's a good way to put it. And both of them really are, with the baggage they're bringing, mind you, with, the Hunter Biden baggage. But then...
well, let's face it. And I actually have a healthy respect for President Biden. I think he's had an honorable career. I don't agree with any of his policies as president, but the reality is Trump is just more chaos, and we don't need it.
Yeah. So, but also the reality is more legislators on Capitol Hill have thrown their support behind him than anyone else. 28 senators, I think more than 100 Congress people. I mean, what say you to that?
That affects 3 votes. Endorsements are meaningless in these kind of races. People, do you really ask yourself, anybody you talk to, I'm voting for so-and-so because so-and-so endorsed him? That doesn't work that way. People have their own minds. Remember, 46% of this country defines themselves as independent. So sometimes those endorsements don't help at all. I think that she's just got the best message. She represents a new generation of Republican conservative leadership. She's an absolute genius on foreign policy. We have enough Biden messes right now around the world. We need somebody to come in there that's a real professional and take the country back to where it used to be, where we were respected. We had a strong economy. We had a leader we can be proud
of. Caucuses are hyped as the first in the nation to vote, kick off the whole camp. I mean, but, Iowa's such a niche and obviously not a huge, demographic juggernaut when you talk about, a variety of different people. How important is it, or is this a good kickoff, and then New Hampshire being the real show, even though they don't necessarily have all the demographics either? What is the importance of tonight?
Well, since they started the primary process the way it is now, the modern primary process, in 1972, only 3 people that were non-incumbents that won the Iowa caucus ended up going on and being president. Right. So it does have importance because it gets so much attention from the media. But the real test is going to be next week in New Hampshire, where you have probably a more representative voter bloc of America than you might in Iowa. Iowa's very conservative. It's heavy evangelical. The evangelicals basically dictate who gets out of here, and Trump is strong with them. But I think that either candidate, DeSantis or Haley, just needs a decent performance tonight to move on. But right now, all the momentum's with Ambassador Haley. And as you follow this at all, these caucuses are all about momentum. So I think she'll have a pretty good night tonight.
She needs what, point-wise, tonight? Give me a number.
I'm not sure.
No, just give me a number. Just give me a number. Give me a number, Pat. I got like 10 seconds left. More than 20%? More than...
No, more important numbers, look where Trump comes in. If he comes in in the 50s or below, that means over half of the voters in a very conservative state don't support him.
Okay, so less than 60 is bad. Less than 60 bad for Trump. Okay, Pat Brady, thank you. Less than 50. Okay. Pat Brady, thank you. Enjoy your time and safe travels back. Maybe we'll hear from you tomorrow to wrap this thing up. Former head of the Illinois GOP and friend of the stream.